guys, it's your girl Queen back again with another video. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for joining. On this channel I share information on personal finance, lifestyle and vlogs. As you can see here, I have my beautiful friends with me and we are going to be talking about our experience working in Canada. So if you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing below and ensure you turn post notification bell on so you can get notified each time I post a new video.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss T. I'm a business analyst and I'm on an open work permit in Canada.
Hi everyone, my name is Mojola and I work as a data analyst and I have permanent residency in Canada.
Hi everyone, my name is Tobi. I work as a procurement analyst and I'm a permanent resident in Canada.
Hi everyone, my name is Bisola. I work as a business analyst and I'm a permanent resident of Canada. I have a couple of questions written here that we are going to be going through and telling you about our own personal experience working in Canada, challenges, lessons learned, and ways that we can improve, and also providing tips for potential people that are intending to work in Canada. I'm starting with you, Tobi. So how was your first job in Canada and what was your experience like?
My first job in Canada was a customer service role. I did it for about 3 months. The experience wasn't great and I won't do it again.
Really? I know.
But yeah, I mean, it was just picking calls, talking to people. It was a work from home job, which is why I also did it, because I had just come. I didn't want to keep spending my pool of funds, so I was like, you know what, and there was COVID at the time as well, so it just made sense. Like, people were talking about customer service. I was okay, I'm at home, I'm not really doing much anyway, I might just do it and just make some money to cover my bills. So I would say, like, customer service jobs are just like to cover your bills and nothing more. Well, for me personally, it was just more of like, let me just pay rent, buy groceries, you know, chill.
For me, my first job in Canada was also customer service.
Oh, nice.
I worked with DHL. I was doing tracking, packages and all those things. I did it for 3 months as well, so we are in sync. The experience, I wouldn't say was bad, because for me, I went into the office, unlike yours, and mine, I was able to integrate well with people, like working with different. I think that's the only time I've actually worked in the office where I worked for a long time and I worked with different people, and it was a fun experience. The only thing is I did it into winter and it was too cold. I wasn't driving then, so it was kind of challenging, but I don't hate that experience. Like, that experience was very good for me. My experience was nice. I liked it, but then customer care work is not something that you want to do for long, especially if it's a call center. If you are like working at the front desk, it might be okay, but like taking calls back to back, honestly, it's crazy.
It's not fun.
So what about you, Jola?
Okay, so my first job was, I was a sandwich artist. I like to think of myself like that. I worked for Subway when I was in school, and so I was always going to the store. It's not the best because it takes a toll on you, especially commuting and standing, but it wasn't necessarily bad.
It was okay for your first time.
It was just okay for a first time job, yeah.
How about you, Mr.
Mine was bad.
What did you do? What did you do?
So I was a merchandise associate in Walmart. Them not package the name. I was basically a stocker, like, you know, when you stock the shelves and stuff like that.
Right.
It was really bad and at the time I just came from Nigeria, where I kind of had it okay, to working in Walmart, stocking the shelves, climbing ladders, you know, things like that. It was insane. I did it for about 4 months, and the funniest thing is that when I got the job, I was very excited. I remember I called. I was like, oh my god, I got the job! You know, I was so excited because I've been job searching for like 6 months, and it was crazy. But I don't pray for even my enemy to do it, but it wasn't bad. I mean, at the end of the day, I won't say it was totally bad, because that was my first job in Canada. I learned like their work culture, speaking to different kind of people from different background and stuff like that. So it wasn't that bad, but very stressful. It was very stressful.
I think one thing that is common from what every one of us here has said today is that we all kind of started with jobs that we wouldn't particularly have gone for, but it was just something to kick you started, get you started, pay your bills, then eventually you find something that you really want to do. Another question, I would like to start with you, Jola.
Okay.
How was it like when you were job hunting for your current role? Tell us about your experience.
So After my first job in Canada, my first professional job was through internship, so it was kind of easy through my school board. Almost like this first place I applied to called me for an interview, and then I got the job, and then I just transitioned to being full-time there.
Oh, nice.
But then for my current role, I really had to go to the job market, put out my resume, go through LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, and different things. I work with recruiters. So first of all, that was a shock to me, having to put out multiple resumes and things like that, having to have different interviews and people telling you no. So it was hard. It will literally play with you mentally to make you feel inadequate. But you just have to keep pushing.
Pretty much similar to what you said. I mean, you apply on all these websites, LinkedIn, Indeed. What are the other popular ones? Just keep putting your resume out there. But anyway, this one was LinkedIn, and I did the interview and I got it. So it's literally like anyone can click. That's the thing with applying for jobs. Like, you just keep putting yourself out there, putting your resume out there, reaching out to recruiters, all of that. Like, you won't get yes immediately, but you just keep going. Something will click for sure.
For me, I've gotten 2 jobs from LinkedIn before in the past. They reached out to me and I got the jobs, but my current role, I worked with recruiters, so it's totally different from applying. I actually never physically went to the website to apply, maybe on Indeed or even on LinkedIn to apply for any role. I used mostly recruiters. I wasn't used to working with recruiters for a new role before. It was my first time working with recruiters, so definitely different, but I think I find it less daunting working with recruiters than applying for jobs directly. And the reason, I find it less daunting because for that one is the recruiters pushing, and I can apply for 100 jobs easily. So my own experience was different working with recruiters, and it was nice. It's actually nice, if I'm being honest. The only thing is that hopefully in the future I will be able to work with just few recruiters that I know that can get me the job. I don't want to work with several recruiters that will be giving me a dick.
And another thing is the thing about the recruiters is they kind of help you better position yourself.
Yes.
Because sometimes you might not even know that this is what you're doing wrong, and you're going on the website to apply yourself, and then if you are speaking with the recruiter as the middleman, they kind of help you with you should polish this and stuff like
they will
that.
even tell you the things that the company is looking out for, what their requirement is, maybe some areas that they feel like you should talk about more, so it helps you prepare better in a way on when you apply directly. How about you?
Just like Queen just said, I got my job through a recruiter as well, and he actually reached out to me, told me the things the company is looking for, just to let me know, prepare my resume well and stuff like that. But before then, it was something. Honestly, I kind of feel like I'm the only one in this channel that I've had it very hard, but it was hell. I job searched for more than 6 months, and because I was changing career as well, so it was a bit difficult. I had to put in the work, apply for multiple jobs every day, get at some point I started to feel like I was dumb. Why am I not getting this job? I'm applying. I will even proceed to the interview stage, get to the final stage of the interview, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It was just very, it was crazy. Even when this my current role, when the guy reached out to me that morning, I was honestly expecting, unfortunately. I was, when he called me, I was like, I did. I'm like, "Oh, hi." And it's like, congratulations. I'm like, "Oh." So it was a roller coaster, but
like they say, it's a numbers game.
It's actually a numbers game. Keep applying, keep trying, don't give up. My next question, I'll be going first, is what is one lesson that I have learned about the Canadian labor market? I think we just kind of mentioned it now. It's a numbers game. Don't stop trying. You need to apply for multiple jobs, and one important thing that I think that I would say is a lesson is you should be able to learn new skills, because one thing that helped me in my job search was the fact that I went to take some online courses and just polish myself, advance some basic skills that I already have, just to get to advanced level, like advanced Excel, advanced Power BI, and those tools. It helped me kind of have those knowledge to market myself better with the hiring managers. So that's one lesson that I would say I've learned. How about you?
Yeah, for me, I would say you should know how to sell yourself. Like, you need to know how to sell yourself. Let them know that you know what you're saying, like you know what you're doing, and I think that's the biggest lesson. And like Bisola said, upskill is very necessary. It's important for you to do that as well.
Yeah, and your confidence level has to be
top notch
level.
Yeah. I've learned that it's obviously like to get jobs is a numbers game, but at the same time, to make it easier on yourself, you can make your profile work for you, that you don't necessarily need to keep applying for jobs all the time, even though you will still be applying just to support the process. But having good LinkedIn page, working with recruiters, creating profiles with the recruiting agencies and all will help you expose you more to jobs, and then it will reduce the all working on applying for more jobs and all this kind of stuff.
That's interesting. How about you, Tobi?
I think what I learned during my job search was reaching out to recruiters. So like you see the job posting on LinkedIn, and then sometimes on LinkedIn it will show you who is actually putting, who is like the headhunter or the HR person in the company that actually put out that ad. Sometimes you see under the job application is reaching out. So you've applied online, but like plenty people are also applying online, right? So reaching out to that recruiter directly. Send them an email. If you know, like, so there's this website actually called a friend of mine gave it to me, hunter.io.
Yeah, I know Hunter.
Yeah, you can put in the companies. It kind of gives you the format of which the company. No, it gives you the format of emails of employees in the company. So basically, if you know the name of the recruiter and you check hunter.io, it will give you put the company website or something like that. I don't remember it directly properly, but it will give you the format of their emails, and you can reach out to the recruiter directly. I actually did get a role, like get an interview from that because I reached out to the recruiter after applying on their website. Wow. So that was something that I learned, because normally like you just apply, you just put your resume out there, you've applied, and you'll be waiting for them to. But that extra effort of like reaching out to the recruiter and saying, oh yes, I applied to this role, but I also felt like, oh, I have the skills and this is my resume. Some of them might not respond to you, don't get me wrong, they won't always answer you because they have a lot of emails, but once like you can actually get a response back, and that honestly is a game changer.
It makes a difference.
Directly they've seen your resume before the system filters it or whatever.
What is one thing that you dislike about the Canadian labor market?
Okay, for me, I would say discrimination between PR and open work permit holders. And the reason why I said that is because I'm on open work permit, and I have experienced this a lot. So I can just get a call from a recruiter or from anybody, and they'll be like, oh, we have an opportunity, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm interested. And they'll be like, are you a PR holder or are you on a work permit? And once I say I'm on a work permit, they'll be like, oh, unfortunately we can't go on with you. Why? Because the company doesn't want someone on work permit. So it's kind of like really annoying. Not all companies, don't get me wrong, because I have a job and I'm on the work permit, but it's just kind of like annoying, and it's kind of lowers your, would I say, morale. Yeah, because you're like, okay, everybody they want PR. Now that I'm not a PR holder, should I enter the ground? What will I do? Would I survive? So it's kind of like lower your morale, and it's not really cool, I think so, but not all companies.
I'll just say they pay, like you might end up working harder than what your pay, your compensation is. So there's that. Don't get me wrong, there are people that they are getting paid a very good amount, terrific amount and everything, but you have to work hard for it. Like literally you have to work really really hard for it.
Canada pays lower than a lot of other
a lot of other countries, and even if
it's just decent, the pay is just decent. That's the word. It's not competitive, it's just decent. And I don't think that's good enough. They can do better.
Yeah, they can do better.
Notes to your employers.
All right.
I think for me it was more around the job search process. So it's a thing where, and I think this is a popular thing that people actually talk about, the Canadian experience thing. But then they do it in such like almost a sleek manner where like if you're not paying so much attention you might not really get it. They don't necessarily say Canadian experience up front, because I think like obviously that comes off as they're discriminating or stuff, but you hear things like, especially if it's like a recruiter that reaches out to you and you have that initial call, you know, they reach out to you, they say, oh, we have this opening, let's have this 15 minutes chats that they always do. Yeah, so you have the chat, and then they start asking you questions like, oh, what's your experience like? You tell them, especially like this is from a newcomer's perspective, obviously, or someone who hasn't necessarily done, like you haven't worked in your field a lot here. That's the perspective I'm coming from, so before anybody starts to judge. Anyway, so you tell them what your experience is like, and then they go on to ask you, oh, so have you done that here, or have you done, what were you doing that at your previous job here? And like, no. And you they come off as like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get back to you or something, or they just never get back to you. And it's more a function of, oh, yeah, you had that experience, but you don't have it in Canada. Do you get? And I think that's just very somehow, because it's like, especially when it comes to roles where like it's just transfer of skills. And again, when they employ you here, for the most part, they still train you on how to use their systems, how their processes work. So it's a matter of understanding the basics, which you already do once you've done the job. But because you haven't done it here, it can be tricky to get into your field. I think that's why people sometimes struggle to also get into their specific fields here.
Anyway, for me, what I dislike about the workplace here is the workplace culture, honestly. It seems like they are nice, they are polite, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like genuine. Like, they can literally throw you under the bus. That's just the word. I don't know the exact word to use to describe. Maybe you guys can help me out here.
Yeah, don't just get carried away with this person being nice. That person is not your family. That person is not your best friend. That's your work colleague. Like, you guys work together, and just leave it at that. Live personal life. Don't expect too much. Don't even expect anything.
It's just work.
Like, just work.
Like you said everything already. It's just fake. And compared to like where I am coming from, like where most of us are coming from in Nigeria, it's kind of easy for you to have like this work bestie, or like just but it's kind of difficult for you to have that work bestie.
It doesn't even exist.
It doesn't even exist. Like,
but again, I sorry to cut you short. I think it might also be like, if you think about it, I think it might be a function of the culture.
I was gonna say that,
because Nigerians we're more like people. Like, you want to be friends, you want to know what's going. AKA I'm a bosher, but it does help to kind of build that friendship, because like you want to know what's going on. What did you do on the weekend? Where are you going for lunch? Where are you doing this?
Yeah, and lastly, people are just a bit competitive.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think they're being competitive.
That's just it.
My last and final questions for you guys, thank you guys, is what is your advice, or what advice do you have to give for people that are willing to come and work in Canada?
Me, okay, yeah, I would just say that you need to lower your expectations. Like, don't expect too much. Don't feel like Canada is somewhere that you want to come and then boom, you've made it in life. No, you have to lower your expectations. You have to take it one step at a time, gradually, and you have to be ready to work. Put in that work. Like, you need to put in that work. I'm emphasizing on putting in that work. Effort. You can't just be laid back. I'm not swearing for you, but you would not make it in Canada if you are laid back. You need to be intentional about it.
For me, is like you should be willing to start from the scratch. Like, be willing to start all over. I'm not saying you have to, because some people got lucky and they got like their first job in their desired profession, but it doesn't happen to most people. Most people tend to start from the beginning. So keep an open mind and be ready to start all over. If shit hits the roof, willing to go back to doing basic job that you probably wouldn't have taken, then as long as you continue what she said, be intentional, you'll find your dream job.
Yes. I actually have two folds of advice. My first one is for when you're searching for jobs, and that's kind of like something that encouraged me in my own process when I was getting all those no's. Yes, there are a lot of jobs out in the market and things like that. However, you have to note that before a company employs someone for a position, they actually have to post that job out. So sometimes when you say posted for a particular role and you apply for it and you're very qualified for the role, and then they are telling you that unfortunately we are moving forward with another person, the reason why you were interviewed for that job is because they have to follow that process. They probably already have someone that they want to employ, maybe an internal hire or something like that. So don't take it too hard on yourself, especially when you're getting all those no's. You're not dumb. maybe you can talk to people, look at your resume, how are you placing yourself, try to like maybe do mock interviews and all those kind of things. You are not dumb, there's nothing wrong with you. You might maybe take up skills, like maybe learn new things to help to make you more marketable, but don't take it hard on yourself. You're fine. Another thing I would advise again is the whole aspect of you like maybe getting very complacent or getting very okay with your role, and not wanting to push yourself forward. Try to like surround yourself with like go-getters. Have someone in like a field you want. I'm not necessarily talking about a mentor, because I don't necessarily like mentors and all, but have someone you look up to, or someone that has like your dream job and everything, and ask them how they got there, so that you can also start putting the work into it. Because you find out in Canada, you see people that they've had, nothing is wrong with it, but it's just what if you want it. But you see people with like 25 years on the same role and just getting the normal pay increase of like 2% max. So try to not get too comfortable with your position. Talk to people, try to move around, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, thank you. How about you, Tobi?
I think I would say reach out to people when you come. Like if you're coming near me, I think you should also, like, aside working on your resume, right, also reach out to people. You can reach out to people on LinkedIn. Yeah, they call it networking. Or like just reach out to people that might be doing similar roles that you want to do in the companies that you've applied to, for example, or they are looking to apply to. Ask them what it's like working there. Just send a like really brief message on LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn is where you can reach out to people professionally, and and like nobody is going to give you, like, some people might not check their LinkedIn, might not respond, but I think here a lot of people actually do LinkedIn a lot. So if you reach out to people on LinkedIn, have a chat, try to understand what companies like, possible interview questions. Maybe they interviewed for that role not too long ago. They can give you tips. I think people are generally open to just like
having a chat.
Yeah, just having a chat. Like they'll just give you a general overview of what it's like working there and that kind of thing, and that can also help your chances, like improve your chances with the interview. So another thing I think I remember around interviewing is using the STAR method. When they ask you questions, don't just be very brief or vague with your responses. You have to really go into details, and I think that also ties back to the whole selling yourself. But yeah, using that STAR interview method really does help. So I think people should look that up if you don't already know it.
Go and read up on STAR interview method. Hopefully it helps you land your dream job. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. We hope you learned something new. From my beautiful friends here, we say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.
Bye.